job hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video I am going to be collecting jobs for the underground training mining jobs to apply for page. So this is where we load up all the jobs from around the country that we think you should be applying for once you've done the sponsors training, either the DIY package or the work ready package. So let's have a look. Let's type underground in. What jobs am I talking about? I'm talking about all the hard rock underground jobs, so you can find them all around the country. This is the map that we use on the Australian Mining Atlas. At the moment, it's got everything programmed in for gold, silver, nickel, all the hard rock jobs. So everything that's going into a battery is being dug out of the ground in one of these mines around the country, and that's where your long-term careers are, and that's where all these underground jobs are. So let's start collecting them. So there's an Indigenous one. We get a few people come through that meet that. So we'll collect that one. BHP normally run another ad within 24 hours. So keep an eye out for that one. That's not specifically for Indigenous, just for general entry. So this is an interesting one, underground truck operator. And I'm not sure whether I should collect this, or I'm not sure whether this is just a mistake that somebody's made, because it's quite clearly an ad for road train drivers and doubles and quads and triples. Nobody runs that sort of stuff underground. So maybe they really do have a contract for underground truck drivers, but somebody in HR has put the wrong ad in there. So yeah, we're going to leave that one alone at this stage because that's a bit confusing. So we've got the Nippers job. So I'll grab that one. That's from Queensland. Agi job, in and out of Townsville. So we'll collect that one. Agi's a good place to start. But if you're an Agi operator in construction, make sure that you look at the training, because it can be very confusing getting your head around how that mine actually works, and that can be the hardest thing for a new operator to survive. If you can't get the Agi down to the right area of the mine and back it up and get it going in a quick enough amount of time, then you're not going to have a job for very long. So that's one of the good things about the training. It teaches you all about that sort of stuff. So, a Vex Student. So for all our graduates around the place, this is what you should be looking out for Christmas holidays. So they're looking for mining, engineering, maintenance, everything. They're looking for all the VAC students for Christmas. So we'll collect that one. And those will start coming up more and more as people try and get their ducks in a row for Christmas time. That's the first page done. I'm doing it for 3 days, so it counts last Friday. Tomorrow I'll probably just do it for the 1 day, so I can have a bit more of a look around. BHP looking for fitters. So yeah, BIS looking for underground diesel fitters. So maybe they got their wires crossed there with what they're looking for. With the ads, that is. Projects crew. Around Sparky. Ancillary operators. Let's have a look at what McDonalds want for ancillary operators. And it's a surface job, so they'll want experience for surface. Unfortunately, with all the iron ore jobs, all the iron ore mine sites going driverless, there's an oversupply of surface people around, so it's really hard to get a surface job at the moment. The irony is that it's the opposite with underground. They've just got nobody, so they're having to hire new truck drivers for pretty much every hard rock underground mine in the country is having to put new people on. So that's a surface driller's job. We'll have that one. Go into exploration. Just wanted to give a shout out to Tom too, who got in contact with us at the channel about getting an offsiders job. So that's really, really good. Yeah, he sent a thank you email through, which was much appreciated. So well done, Tom. I know you'll have a long and profitable career. Okay, processing plant. So that looks like that. So, yep, so that could be a way into a mill job, guys, if you're looking for something on the surface. And these are the things that you've got to watch out for. And this is why I like doing the search with the underground, because you never quite know what's going to come up. It always leads you somewhere. You always get a few extra jobs come up that you wouldn't have expected. And there's one just there. So another graduate role. Grab that for the graduate engineers on the page that are interested in that sort of stuff, which there seems to be a lot about. Again, if you're getting into it and you're into engineering and you're trying to get your head around how it all works, then sponsors training is really good for all that. It gives you a really good rundown of how the actual mine works from the miner's perspective, and it helps you ease into that 2 years practical experience that all the hard rock underground engineers have to do if they want to become the underground manager or the resident manager one day. Still looking, mining trades assistants. That's Mackay. It's another, again, Vex Students for open pit. So I'll grab that one. Graduate opportunities. Like I said, it's coming up to that time of year where people are, or the companies are trying to get themselves organised for their grad students for Christmas. So it gives you good experience if you're a grad student, and it gives them some labour to fill in over the Christmas holidays. Ancillary operators. So it's hard to work out what they want with these things. And again, this will be, yeah, it's BHP, so they'll probably be looking for experienced people. So it's one of those things where BHP put out they put out an email and they've done a lot of speeches on it. And I've been told about this by so many people. But basically, at the end of 2018, they had 6,500 people on site. And apparently, the plan is by the end of 2024 that they want to get that down to 880 people on site. So I always find these ads confusing, and I'm not sure what that role really is, because if they really are going to bring it down that many people, are you just getting a job for 5 minutes, or are you going to be able to have a 20-year career out of it? That's why I like the Hard Rock Underground, because at least with the Hard Rock Underground, you're going to be able to have a 20-year career out of it if you want to. Whereas with some of the other things that people are jumping into at the moment, you just don't know from, if it's going to last 18 months or 3 years or, however long. But some of those things, especially with the automation of coal in Queensland and iron ore over here, the jobs that people are jumping into are only going to be very temporary. And yeah, it's just one of those things that, with coal, once that coal price comes back down again a little bit, then there's, going to be a rationalisation of the industry, and a lot of people that don't have shirts, they're going to be left out. unfortunately, but that's the nature of the beast. So yeah, that's why I always stress to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you before you jump into it, because you know you want a proper career out of it. You don't want to jump into it and then have the rug pulled out from you 5 minutes into it, which unfortunately is going to happen to a lot of people, just because it's just the way the things are going. All right, so we're up to page 7, I think, and there's not a lot in here at the moment, so I think we'll call this one quits. A bit early, didn't go quite as long as we wanted it to. Maybe 10 minutes is a good length for these videos. Anyway, so I hope you found that information helpful. And like I said, you can check out the atlas here with all the jobs. If you're in Victoria, then you've got all the jobs up here that are drive in, drive out. Obviously, those jobs also you can drive in and out of Sydney or South or North Coast. A lot of people drive in and out of Brisbane to those jobs there. If you're in Queensland, you've got everything that's fly in, fly out of Brisbane or Townsville. There's fly in, fly out of Adelaide up to Olympic Dam and Oz Mineral sites. There's Newmont in Northern Territory that are always looking for people. There's a number of different mines in Tasmania that are looking for people. And of course, over here around Kalgoorlie, there are lots of jobs around Kalgoorlie. And just about, well, every employer is having to hire truck drivers for their fly and fly out jobs in Perth. So, yeah, that's the lie of the land. If you want to get yourself a job, that's the way I'd be going. Exploration, underground, or on the mill somewhere. That's where I'd be concentrating my efforts, because that's where you'll get yourself that long-term, well-paying career that everybody's chasing. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this job hunt video around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.